For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sandra. I'm Sandra Lanxin Chu, and I am an expert in facial gua sha. But what that expertise comes from is that I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner. I practice acupuncture and Chinese herbal medicine, and I've been doing that since 2005, 2006, so 16 years or so. And a lot of people think that I'm an esthetician, but I'm actually a Chinese medicine practitioner who specializes in using Chinese medicine to treat skin disorder. And I also use Chinese medicine knowledge for cosmetic treatments, because it's very useful when it comes to treating the skin as well as promoting radiance and beauty and glow. So that's what I do. That's why I know and understand facial gua sha, because facial gua sha is from Chinese medicine. I don't know if you guys knew that, but even the name gua sha probably sounds Chinese to you, and that's because it is. So hello everyone joining. What I'm going to do with you today is I'm just going to show you some really easy ways to incorporate gua sha into your everyday skincare routine. I know that a lot of people are intimidated by gua sha, especially compared to a jade roller. It seems like there's a lot that you need to learn, and there is a really easy way to do gua sha that's just as easy as a jade roller. And then as you build your own practice in gua sha, you can learn more advanced techniques, and I do teach some of those even in my basic facial gua sha videos that are on our website at lanxin.com, as well as on our YouTube page, which you can look for under Treatment by Lanxin. So there's a lot of resources that we make for you that are also on Instagram. So we have little mini tutorials that are on Instagram as well. So lots of resources for you and your gua sha practice. So, and I hope that that's all been helpful for you guys as you get to know gua sha. So today, let me just take you through a really simple and easy way to do your gua sha if you're intimidated, because my goal is that anyone intimidated today is no longer intimidated by gua sha, because it's so easy. So if you guys want to join along with me, great. Hopefully you had a chance to clean your face, because we always start gua sha on a clean palette, okay? Because anything that we apply after, so the products that we apply after, when we do our gua sha over that, we're going to be penetrating it deeper into the skin layer, which is great. But that's also why you want to start with clean face, because we don't want to be pushing makeup or sunblock in, right? So I am going to begin with the first step. So the first step of gua sha is to clean your face. After you've cleaned your hands, obviously, right? I hope that's obvious for everyone right now that we're always working with clean hands. Then clean face. Step number one in prepping your skin is to use a hydrating product. So that can be called a hydrating mist, hydrating toner. I feel like probably most of you guys already do that, especially if you're followers of Facile. So this is how I do it. So I'm using Josh Rosebrook's Hydrating Accelerator today, if you guys want to see. And I'm going to generously apply this to my face and my neck, because I always like to start gua sha on the neck. The neck is just a non-negotiable for the face, for me. The neck is a really important part of our body for many reasons, but especially when it comes to working with face and head. Neck is a non-negotiable. We must treat our neck, okay? So I'm going to start there, and I'm going to make sure that I'm misting my hydrator onto my neck, and also don't forget the back. Now I'm gonna press my hydrator in, and I'm gonna start to massage it just like it was an oil. This is a key step that can be a game changer for your moisturizing and hydrating routine. Now, it's a little bit dry where I am, so my skin's already kind of dried out from using my mist, so I'm gonna do a second layer. I always do as many layers as it takes for my skin to remain damp on its own for at least long enough that I can use my oil. Okay, so I think this feels better. I'm able to maintain some dampness because I only like to apply oil. I only ever apply oil on hydrated, damp skin. Okay, so I'm gonna use today Apoterra Night Treatment Oil. This is designed for acneic skin, but I actually love it for acneic skin as well as other skin types. It's just a really nice oil that has a lot of ingredients that I think support all different skin types, including dry and including mature skin types as well. So I love this oil. So I'm gonna use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna start with that, and I'm going to rub it in my palms and apply. Okay, apply everywhere. Then I'm going to be doing gua sha, including my neck. And I'm gonna just really work that in. And when you're doing this at home, you should notice that the oil penetrates and integrates really nicely and really well when your skin is damp. So I think I might just need a drop or two more for my neck. But as you can see, I don't use a ton of oil. I always say use less first and layer on more if you need it. I see a lot of people using like half a dropper full of oil. That's way too much. I also see people applying it like this. That's not a favorite way to apply it for me. I think you get a lot better application doing it the way I just showed you. Okay, so all right, we're ready for gua sha. Let me, before I start, answer some questions that you guys had. One of the questions that you guys had was, what is the biggest misconception about gua sha? And I guess it's that that it's a lymphatic drainage technique. I feel like a lot of people equate facial gua sha with lymphatic drainage technique, and they're not the same. So in facial gua sha, we do work with the lymphatic system. We are contacting and working with it, but we're also working with the blood circulation system. We're working with the energetic system, qi, where it runs through all of our meridians, our energetic meridians, which is a map through our whole body where energy runs. And we're working with tissue, so muscle tissue, fascia tissue. We're working to release the tension in our muscles and tissues, and we're also working to gently break down the little knots and what we would call adhesions in our tissues. So the same way that you get knots in your neck and in your shoulders, you'll get them in your face. And they're like babies, they're like, I call them micro knots. So gua sha is gonna be able to slowly break those down so that your face and skin can be free and really well circulated. And that's what's gonna make it look better and look amazing, okay? So, all right, let's start. So I'm gonna be using my Lanshin Pro today. This is, I actually designed this tool to have this shape. It was very intentional why I shaped it this way and why I added these special features like the lip and the comb. But I also, for people that want something a little more basic or that suits your budget a little bit better, this is a little bit more expensive because it's nephrite jade, and nephrite is a higher value, denser, much more sturdy stone. This jade is also beautiful jade, just happens to not be, quite as high end as the other one. But this is also a beautiful stone that you can work with and shape that will get you results. Okay, so some people say, how should I choose my gua sha tool? And you can start with your budget. What works for your budget? So, Facile carries all of our tools, and there's something for every budget type. Okay, so whatever tool you're working with, you're just going to take the tool and you're going to really work with the flat part of the body. So what do I mean by flat? I mean this is how your tool is going to contact your skin versus this. So this is the edge. This is the edge contacting my skin. This is the body. Okay? So we're going to just start on our neck, and we're just going to do, remember, I'm doing easy gua sha for people that are intimidated by it. And I'm just going to I'm going to tape or glue the flat part of the tool to my skin. And then I'm just going to glide down. I'm going to start with downward strokes on my neck. And let's just, if you're following with me, just work it all around your whole neck. So from the front, now I'm doing super basic. For those of you that have seen me in my videos, I'm going even more basic today, just for everyone that's intimidated or a little nervous that they're not doing their gua sha correctly. Just do it like this. So I'm using light to medium pressure, and I'm going slowly. I'm going at a pace that feels soothing, because gua sha can be soothing to your nervous system. And don't you guys think that right now we just need as many ways that we can to soothe ourselves, to relax? Maybe if you usually see a massage therapist or an acupuncturist or some kind of body work, maybe you're not able to access that right now. So the best that we're going to be able to do is do it for ourselves at home. And even this is a great way to make your neck feel better as well as help it look better. So let's move to the back. You want to get the back here. That's really important. Now we're going to be in allergy season soon, and working with your neck this way will open it in a way that will help your congestion drain. If you get sinus congestion or eye-watering eye congestion, puffiness. Okay, that's why I start on the neck. So let's move to the other side of the neck. If you are having issues with puffiness, I think it's a non-negotiable that you work with your neck. First, you're going to open the gates for things to circulate down, but also up, because a lot of people talk about lymph drainage, but we also want to circulate nutrients, good blood flow, healthy, fresh lymph carrying fresh nutrients up. So we want to circulate, and working open the neck helps us circulate. Okay, circulate. You should not freeze your tool for puffiness. That's not a Chinese medicine way. I know that's another misconception you guys asked about. What are the biggest misconceptions? Is that you should freeze or cool your tool. That's not a Chinese medicine principle. In Chinese medicine, we don't work with cold like that. There's very rare instances that we would work with cold tools or apply cold to the body. In fact, we're usually trying to avoid cold on your body at all costs, because we're trying to protect your heat level. So when we work in Chinese medicine, it's much more likely that we'll use the tool at room temperature, or we'll heat it up. How do we heat it up? Well, you can heat up a mug of water like I have here, and you can dunk your tool, and then you can dry it on like a towel, and then use it nice and hot. Okay, and that, imagine if I used hot water on here, it feels so good. Oh, but when you do work with heat like that, you have to test it first on your body before you put it anywhere near your face, okay? Never ever put a hot tool on your face if you haven't tested it on your body, okay? You have to promise me that if you try heat that you will always test it on your body first, okay? So, yes, we're gonna keep the live on. It's gonna be on for 24 hours on Facile. So if this tool was heated, you'd be like in heaven right now. You'd be like, oh, that feels so good. And the heat will help melt the tension, melt the tightness, and help it release even better. So, okay, so we've got our whole neck, right? So we did downward strokes. I'll do downward strokes on the neck and I'll do up, but I always do one direction at a time. So now you can also move up if you are trying to create some lift. Again, this is not lymphatic drainage technique, so we don't need to worry or stress about draining the lymph. Trust me, when you do this technique, your lymph will drain on its own as you're opening up your tissues, as you're releasing the tightness from your tissues. You don't gotta worry about your lymph. Trust me, your body is super intelligent and it will take care of it. And so you can work a bit here on the collarbones. I could do that too. Now we can move up to the face. So I'm gonna work with the side of my face. Well, it looks a little bit more even today because I've been doing all my lives on the side of my face, but usually this side of my face sags more. But I'm just going to show you on this side of the face. So the next step is we move up to the face or the jaw. So just take your tool. If your tool has a notch like this is the Sculpting V on the Lenshine Pro tool. On an intro, this one's a little shallow, but it's here. So you'll take your tool, the two prongs or the two pinchers go on either side of your jawline, and you just stroke the tool back up to your ear. So this is, I call this train rides the track. So your Gua Sha tool is your train and your jawline is your track. So all you're doing is you're taking the train on a spin around your jawline track. And your jawline doesn't just end here, it comes up. There's an angle. It forms an angle, it turns the corner, okay? So we're gonna turn the corner with our jawline and that's gonna help us sculpt it. Cool, right? So the nice thing about, what I made sure to do in my tools is, especially with the Lenshine Pro, is to make this a little bit tighter. So I feature two angles, a little bit tighter angle and a little bit wider angle, so that you can work with jawline and brow, and there's a way to use a tighter angle for tight muscles. That's a little beyond basic. Remember, we're doing basics, okay? So starting with the jaw. Now let's work with the jowl area. I'm just gonna select any part of my tool that fits here, tape it down flat, and move back to my ear. Now on the face, notice that for the most part, I'm only working my tool out and up. And so just do that. It's so easy. Just take your tool, put the flat side of it down, and just stroke like this. And it feels good. And you're gonna go over your jaw knots on this stroke. So let it be. And you're just gonna know that as you stroke over it slowly, that you're slowly releasing and breaking down those stubborn knots. And this will help with TMJ if you have it. TMJ, tension, pain, or discomfort. Now, just keep moving up with your tool. So with this tool, it's enough to cover almost my whole face from here to here. And I'm just gonna fit the tool on my cheekbone like this, and I'm just gonna stroke up. again, keeping the tool flat. So even though this is super basic and I'm not adding a lot of the bells and whistles that you may have seen me do, even this will do a lot for your skin, both in terms of helping the health of your skin, but also the look. It will help the appearance. It will smooth out the texture, brighten the complexion. It will bring volume to where you feel sunken, and it will bring lift to where you feel sagging. That's what's really great about this technique. How many strokes per session? You know, I would do a minimum of 5 per area, but really you do as many as feels right. So I encourage you guys to go inside a bit and figure out what feels right and feels good to you. That's a really good instinct to practice, is to know what's right for you, because there's no hard and fast rule about how many strokes you should do. It just depends on, are you in a rush? Do you have a long time? You really want to work your face, or do you really want to work with sculpting and contouring the cheek? The answer of how many strokes will depend on what your goals are for that day. So for that day, in that moment, discover what feels right for you. That's how I do it. Okay, so under eye. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to put them on my temple. I'm just going to press gently to create a little resistance and stretch. And then I'm going to take, so find whatever part of your tool fits for the under eye. On the Lanshin Pro, this angle, this side of the tool fits. I'm just going to stroke from my temple on over to my nose. I'm going to flick off my nose. This is a new way that I've been doing it the last couple years. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me do it this way, which is not wrong at all, and you will get results from that. But after working gua sha on a lot of faces, I started to do it this way because I really felt that I got a better result for the under eye. And it was after I really started thinking about how the eye muscles work that I really felt that I wanted to at least include stroking in this direction from the outer corner to the inner corner. And my pressure here is feather light, okay? Feather light, because I'm working with the under eye. And so does that make sense, you guys, why I go out to in? It's also okay to do in to out. If you wanted to add that stroke, you can also do that. Now in professional treatment, I go all directions depending on what my goal is for each facial feature. But I want to try to make this really simple and non-intimidating. So if I had to choose between stroking out to in and in to out, I would choose out to in, with a supporting hand here on the temple, okay? So now let's move to the eyebrow. Okay, so the eyebrow, I like to use this sculpting V, this tighter angle, and I'm gonna ride the train across my eyebrow track. And what I like to do is, now on the intro, it looks like this, okay? And I like to go like this. So watch how I place my tool here. My two prongs are above and below my brow bone, and watch, I'm just gonna go turn it like that, so that I can pick up this part of my forehead here and just stroke to the side. And that way I can really get my 11 lines smoothed out, okay? And I'm just gonna ride the train around my brow bone track, which turns down a little bit here. When I finish, I'm gonna turn the tool up and cat eye. Draw a cat eye from here to finish. So the whole stroke looks like this. And it's super relaxing. You're gonna love doing this at night when you wanna relax your face, especially if you've been on meetings all day on your computer, squinting at your monitor. Okay. Nice, right? All right. So I go flat on my face with a tool, but I see a lot of people who place it perpendicular. Oh, so someone's saying that they see a lot of people doing this. I think that's what you're asking. And I'm asking you to go flat, or I'm suggesting that you go flat because you get a better release of the fascia, of the tissue tension that you're working with. You also get a better contact with your skin, and good, successful, results-driven gua sha is all about good contact. That's why I designed the shapes of the Lansing Pro this way, because you get good contact with your features. So see how I contact my cheekbone? It just kind of hugs it. And then when I turn my tool flat, I get so much contact with the flatness of my board. That's where you really get your results. Does that make sense? And so for the forehead, same thing. I'm going flat. See, this curve here fits my forehead curve. So it's just a really natural groove that I'm working with here. Now, on the forehead, I do like to go down, up to down. There is an exception for the face, and I'll tell you why in a second. But you can finish on the forehead by stroking from the hairline to about here. I stop about here. Why do I go down? Well, forehead lines are created by moving your muscles up on your forehead. See how it makes the lines? So if your facial expressions are up here a lot, then that can create the lines over time. And so that's why it's okay on the forehead to stroke it down right here. Just to relax those muscles, bring them back to place, right? That's why the eye as well. Now, some people ask about the lips. So you can take whatever edge of your tool fits the lips. In this case, I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna work around the lip. And then you can stroke, you can finish by stroking all the way out to the side. So you can follow your lip on the top and come out to the side. I don't only do upper lip lines. When I do lip, I do the whole lip. So I'll come to the side here and get this part of the lip muscle. And I'll come out to the side. And I'll even do under, where I'll go like that, lightly, not like super stretched out, but like this gently. And then I'll stroke out to the side. So basically what I've done is I've worked the gua sha, stroked it across the tension that is in my lip muscle. And on some people that I've worked on, I've literally seen their lips plump. It doesn't happen on everyone, so not everyone's gonna get that, but some of you are, and that's really fun. Okay, so do you wash your face after gua sha? No. So why? I already washed my face, so I don't need to wash it again. So what did I just do? I only did half of my face. You would repeat on the other side. But what I did is I cleaned my face. I applied my nutrient-rich products, hydration and moisture-rich products. I worked it in with my gua sha, and then I helped my skin, my tissue and muscles with the gua sha, and now I'm good to go. So you could finish with like a facial balm and then go to bed. Or if it's daytime, you can now apply your sunblock or your makeup. Okay, so no need to wash off anything we just did. In fact, I wouldn't do it because the whole point of gua sha is to help penetrate, or not the whole point, one of the points of gua sha is to get that product penetration into your skin layer. Okay, so is it okay with Botox or lip fillers? Okay, Botox, rules for Botox. You wait 3 weeks if you've had Botox in the area that you've had Botox. So if you had Botox on your forehead, you need to wait 3 weeks before you do gua sha on your forehead. But you're free to do gua sha anywhere else. You have not had fresh Botox, okay? With fillers, I don't understand fillers enough. I know that there's different types. So the question you need to ask your doctor who does your lip fillers is, when is it okay for me to do facial massage over the area where you're doing fillers? That's the question, because gua sha kind of fits into that category of facial massage type technique. So ask your doctor and follow their instructions, okay? So there's a few other questions I'll go over. How often can you do gua sha? So you can do it as often as daily. The techniques that I've taught you today can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 10. This was super easy, basic. The techniques I've taught online in my tutorials on Lanshin.com or on our YouTube page at Treatment by Lanshin, those can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So you're not doing like a ton, that's not considered a ton of work. If I'm doing a professional treatment, I'm not gua shaing someone's face for anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes, just to give you a sense of comparison. So you can also do it, if you even just do it 2 to 3 times a week, I think you'll notice changes in your skin and in the tension level that you hold in your face and your neck. So we talked a little bit about how you choose the right gua sha tool for you. I think first is, what's your budget? Second is, do you feel really comfortable with learning these gua sha techniques, or do you feel like it's just confusing and I'm scared, and you're scared if you're doing it right? So if you feel really comfortable with your gua sha and you feel like you're really going to commit to the practice of your gua sha, I say go for something like this Lanshin Pro. It's really the only gua sha you will ever need. I designed it to be like the Swiss Army knife of gua sha tools. And as you advance in your technique, you can start to use these special edges that like give you extra precision contouring capabilities and extra capabilities for breaking down the adhesions or the micro knots in your face, and for smoothing lines. So you get these extra features like the comb too that are very useful. This is the tool I use professionally on my clients. I have 2, one in each hand, going like this, okay? So if it works for your budget, I mean, why not go for the master tool? But don't feel bad if the budget doesn't work for you. Even our intros are designed to give you everything that you need to get results from your gua sha. Honestly, I've used a river rock and a porcelain spoon before when I didn't have a tool on me. Of course, with the river rock, I made sure it was smooth and it wasn't going to nick my face. But you just need a smooth object, okay? God, there's so many benefits to gua sha. I feel like such a long list. Let's just talk about the basis of the benefits of gua sha. Gua sha helps improve your circulation. That is the foundational reason why it's so good for your skin and so good for your body. So it helps improve your circulation of your blood, of your fluids, aka your lymph, and your energetic system. And it releases the tension that constrict our ability to circulate fresh oxygen and nutrients all over, okay? That's why it's because it improves the circulation that it's able to help the appearance of your face. Because the appearance, your beauty follows your health, right? There's no true beauty when there isn't health underneath that, right? So we're improving the health of your skin and your tissue, and that's why it glows. So you'll see more glow, you'll see contouring and lift, where you want to contour and lift. You'll see depuffing. You'll also see a return of volume where you've sunken and you've been tight for too long. It helps tremendously with acne. I have all of my acne patients doing gua sha to help the pimples heal faster. Now, when your pimples open and you have open skin, you don't do gua sha on open skin. You skip it, you go around it, or you put a little zit sticker on it, okay? So, what's the difference between face rolling and face gua sha? Well, rolling is, I have actually a whole YouTube on this. So, if you want to know the answer to that question in depth, please go to our YouTube. It's Treatment by Lanchine, and you'll see I did a whole video on the difference. And because it's kind of a long answer, okay? But so if you break out after, so someone's asking, what if you break out after gua sha? So if you break out and it looks like a few whiteheads that come and go really quickly, that's how a detox breakout looks. Is it brings out anything that was dormant under your skin, usually the next morning. So if you see a few whiteheads pop up after you do gua sha, really only initially, this shouldn't continue to happen over and over, unless you have a really bad case of acne, then that's a different story. But in general, if you don't have any acne and you get a few whiteheads, that can be normal. That can be a sign that your skin is getting a little healthier as a result of the gua sha. It's circulating better. So one of the first things skin does when it gets healthier is it takes out the garbage. So if there's, residues in the underlayers of your skin, it will come out, it will look like whiteheads. Now, if the breakout is more substantial than that, then I would think about what else is happening in your life. Is it the time happen to be the time of your month? Do you happen to be at the part of your cycle that you tend to break out? Because it's very unusual and uncommon to break out after gua sha in a substantial kind of way. So you might even want to think about what oil you're using. You are pushing your products in deeper. So if you weren't sensitive to them before, maybe you're a little sensitized because they've come in deeper. So then you want to really think about, is that product working for you? It might not be that. It's hard to say. But in general, it's not common to break out in a substantial way after gua sha. Okay? So I think that is all that I have here for questions. I just want to thank you guys for showing up. I hope that you are enjoying your gua sha routines at home. I hope it's supporting you and helping you through all of this pandemic business. And if you do feel anxious and you do feel tense, grab your gua sha tool, give yourself a moment to relax, to feel better, and just keep doing that for yourself. And that's such a good practice in self-care and self-regard. Okay, so thanks you guys for tuning in. It really was a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. And look out, we're gonna have more stuff going on over Instagram, online. So look out for it, and keep in touch, okay? Bye guys.